honesty, the truth.
Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I've had an upload. That's to be expected. I work in Formula One, and basically from September to mid-Feb, you don't have a life in my job, as a designer. So I've been spending 90% of my days at work and very few weekends off. So thus haven't touched the GTR and haven't uploaded either. Yeah, it's been a super tough winter. Not particularly cold in England, but nonetheless, I just haven't had time to work on the car. But I've been meaning to make this video, a bit of a catch up, and also explain a cool process, probably my most fun game in the car world, which is sourcing parts. I think the chase is almost as fun as the driving in a way. So I want to talk about some secrets I have for sourcing parts, some things all GTR owners, let's say in the States or here in the UK, need to start thinking about and knowing about, because GTR Parts right now, there's a bit of a transition happening between active production and something called the NISMO HERITAGE line. So I want to talk about some of that. So and also a couple cool eBay purchases, ways for you to save some money, that will help you build your car back. I know there's gonna be tons of Americans importing 33s this year, 2020, and you're gonna want to have the best access to parts at the cheapest possible prices and have options, right? Because in the States, we got options. When we go to an auto parts store and you say, I want to buy a brake rotor for your 240SX, right? As a 240 owner, that there's like 6 cars that you could potentially source brake rotors from, depending on the lug pattern and the brakes you have on your car. And so there's always availability, which is good. I find in England it's quite difficult, and also Skylines are quite unique, but do not fret, because there are some cool things that you can do to source cheaper parts from Europe or Japan or anywhere else, maybe even in the States, that will help you save money on your GTR builds, restorations, or just general maintenance. So let's get into it. The first page I have open right here is one of the various Nissan parts catalogs online. I go right now to this Nissan epcdata.com, and you go to Skyline, and there's BNR 33. So I have a 95, but typically what I end up doing is looking for late model parts, because those are sometimes usually the ones that are still available. These cars, all the parts are getting discontinued, or anything that was manufactured in storage at Nissan's part depots in Amsterdam or Japan or the US. They're just being bought up, and that's being it. So you're competing with the rest of the world to get GTR parts. Remember, now a GTR is a global car, especially 32s and 33s. Now they're flooding into the US. All of Europe's had GTRs imported for 20 some odd years. Japan's obviously had them since inception, and now we're starting to get them in the States. The difference is now in the States, we're getting them as all the parts are becoming discontinued. This is a fucking problem, okay? This is why people are hoarding GTR parts. So here on these parts websites, for instance, I'll give you an example. I went looking for a GTR front bumper. I have a good relationship with my local Nissan dealer. My dealer's here in Oxford, where I live, and the parts guy, he's cool. I bought a ton of GTR parts off him. I want to see where the front bumper is in this. Front fender, front bumper. That's the body bumper. Maybe I'll have to go to, no, there it is. Cool, perfect. So I have a front bumper, had a defect on the mounting point, so I'll highlight it here. Basically, this mounting point, this area was cracked. It looked like from a front hit, some front knock that I had, and the mounting was fiberglassed up. So I'll make this full screen. The fiber, they kind of did a fiberglass repair. The fiberglass repair is shoddy, and the outer surface is ever so slightly profiled differently than the body, than how it should be. So me being like super OCD when it comes to cars, shit pissed me off. I was like, I can't have this. Let me find a new GTR front bumper, see what they cost. So my car already has N1 ducts, so I have the Series 3 front bumper, basically as you see it here. So this is the part number, right? Went looking for it. Let's see if it opens. All right, there we go, opens, right? This price seems slightly unusual. I'm not sure where this price is setting, and I wouldn't take this as gusto, because if we press this to order, I'm sure I've never ordered from these people, this Emayama or whatever, but I would highly suspect this is not available through this website. 588 Great Britain pounds, shipping 200 pounds. So there's your price right there. 788. Anyways, so I took this part number to my Nissan dealer. I said, hey, can you get me this? I seen the price online on a couple places, on old websites, scouring the internet, between 350 and 450 pounds, right? Anyways, part number. I took it to them, discontinued. Fuck, that's not cool. I tried multiple part numbers. I tried this one, interchangeable. I tried the one without the cuts, all of these. Nissan Amsterdam, which is a European base for Nissan, couldn't get the bumper. It said it's been discontinued. I asked, when was it discontinued? December. Okay. The mass production Nissan R33 GTR front bumper was discontinued this past December 2019. I obviously went into a bit of a tailspin because I was like, holy shit, there's no more bumpers. I need a bumper. I need to get one before. I can't get one ever again. This is a fucking problem, right? I knew, and you all should know now, that NISMO's Heritage Parts have a full line of R32, 33, and 34 GTR parts that are just starting production now. So this is 2019, 2020. This is new news, right? You have a GTR and you have old parts that are becoming old. You have a banged up quarter panel. You have a broken windshield wiper motor. Don't worry, they were discontinued, but Nissan is now starting to make them. They're making tons of various parts. As you can see here, it's quite a list. You can get brand new cylinder blocks, cylinder heads, which is awesome. You ever want to do a build, the base block, so that's not the N1 block, the 24U N1 block. It's not too bad. So you're talking $1,700. That's really not bad for brand new spanking block. Let me pull up where's the 33 pages that I had 33 stuff open. Dang it. 33, where's it? Okay. Anyways, here we go, 33. So this is all 33 stuff. The thing that I saw that alarmed me to hell was NISMO is starting to remanufacture front bumper. Here's your front bumper, right? Look at the price. That's $1,350 US, so 135,000 yen, roughly. That's expensive. That's way more than the mass production bumper was. So these are made low volume. These are low volume reproductions with warranty, which is, I guess, a useful thing. And super expensive. That's not cheap, right? How much was the mass production one? Well, I'll tell you, I paid 450 pounds shipped. Okay, so I paid way less than $1,350 US, right? Definitely. So how did I do this? Okay, well, I was scouring the internet and I found a seller on eBay. It's a GTR shop in the UK that was selling a brand new R33 GTR front bumpers. They must be getting these from Nissan, whatever. This one they're listing for $494. Is that plus shipping? Yep, 30 pounds to ship it. So I called them up. I was like, hey, I need a GTR front bumper. I purchased stuff from them before. Do you have one? And they're like, oh yeah, we can get it 2-3 days from Amsterdam. I'm like, no. And this is after I found out that it was totally discontinued. Do you have one in stock in your shop right now? Oh, there might be one earmarked for a build. And I said, I'll pay you right now for that bumper if you have it in stock. I need it right now. I just made it seem like a very urgent situation, like I got an accident or I'm going to a paint shop or something. Very urgent. He said, yep, send them the PayPal. We agreed on our price. I get a bit of a discount. I bought thousands of pounds of shit from them. And next day, I got my GTR bumper. Bam. Authentic, brand new OEM GTR bumper. He calls me the day later and he said, I went to reorder that bumper and Nissan Amsterdam, they said it's discontinued. I think you got the last one. And me in my head, I was like, oh, no way. No way. The last GTR bumper. You got to be kidding me. It might be the last one in Europe. I don't know. So the moral of the story is these kinds of parts, these consumables, front lips, Series 3 front splitters, front bumpers, anything that's OEM brand new from Nissan, check if it's still being manufactured. If not, pick it up now, because if you don't get it right now, the NISMO one is going to be 2 to 3 times more expensive than the OEM one. So spend the money now, get the parts, and make your build great. Because if I didn't have this, I was not prepared on spending $1,350 on an OEM bumper. I would have had my current one reprofiled, or brought to a body shop, shaved down, done a new repair on it. It would have been a mess. So I'm glad I don't have to go that route. I found this bumper and I saved some money. So you guys do the same, especially in the States. You're gonna if you can start getting this stuff. I know Nissan Motorsports was the JDM Parts importer from back in the day, so it's like a branch of Nissan in California that brings in these parts. Send the part number to them, see if you can get it. NissanParts.cc will see if they can get it. They might have access to a different lot of parts in Japan that they don't have in Europe. So just check, but be mindful, because things like this might not be available in 3 months or 6 months. Everything now is starting to get phased out. So now is the time, as you're importing your 33s, is when you need to really be thinking, what does my car need? How quickly can I get it? Because it probably won't be available very soon. Okay. So this is one lesson I got really lucky on. I'm super happy about. And it's now I'm going to sell my current one. I can probably sell it for what I paid for my my brand new one. just because of the rarity involved here. They're not making them again, you know, so why not? Or I might keep it, but I am fancying the NISMO front bumper too and doing like a club racer spec, so that might happen. Anyways, that's the first thing. So always be going through this website. This is a great resource to find little clips. I bought things like this little bumper support bracket, all these little front bumper clips, tabs, things that are missing on my car. I don't know why they're missing, but Nissan's just missed parts. When you have hobos working on them, they just miss parts. Look at places like this. It's a great place to go. Pro tip, do not buy clips or screws from Nissan, all right? Too fucking expensive. Go on eBay, type the part number in, press enter, and you will find someone selling a reproduction of those clips or screws or plastic brackets or, you know, various consumables, things to hold the fender liners in, all that kind of stuff, and you'll find it for pennies on the dollar at Nissan prices, okay? When it comes to little plastic clips that hold fender liners or the self-tapping screws that screw in there, you don't want to buy that from Nissan. They're like £2 each. So, and for me, I'm paying 20% tax, right? Because you have VAT over here, so fuck that. So, those are some pro tips. Second pro tip I got for you, look around at other models of 32s and 33s if you can't find a part that doesn't have GTR tags. Case in point, let me find this. Is this the one? Yeah. All right. So see, engaged and confused. You bought this for £40 from whatever company. I wanted Series 3 interior, all right? Or at least Series 3 dash. So it's got a different texture than my current dashboard, which gets that like sticky, plasticky feel. And the driver's side switch panel on the door, same texture. It's that, you know, even though I bought a brand new one of those from from Trust Kikaku, which is in Japan, they ship over here. I bought that, and immediately I was like, this won't last 6 months, I'm positive. So I was like, damn, I can't find a Series 3 dashboard fascia. You know, where do I find this? I called my GTR buddies, it's texting, I'm like, hey, I know you just bought one of these, where'd you get it? Discontinued. Oh, damn, right? All the ones that were on eBay that were genuine GTR parts, they had holes in them. They were chopped up. They had people put like Clifford alarm lights and all this kind of dumb shit on them, right? And I want it clean. I want nothing on it. Decent condition. It could be used, right? So I came across this. Notice the description. Nissan R33 GTST, genuine interior dash. Now, we take a look at the part. Let's see if I can make this bigger. We look at the part. I just did 2 looks at it. I compared the buttons. You know, I have my... you got your mirror switches, antenna up, down. You got your clock, you know, all the hazards, all that kind of stuff. And I looked at the space and the shape, and I was like, this thing's identical. It seems like MacBook Airs don't like to do all these things at once, so I had a little bit of a freeze on the video, but wanted to restart. Anyways, so I took a real solid look at this part, and I noticed it was identical to the GTR part. All right, the price listed was even half of what a GTR front fascia dash fascia will go for. I mean, in the UK, it's 160, 200 pounds. It's discontinued. Brand new from Nissan, it's like 250 pounds. It wasn't cheap. So there's none available from Nissan, totally discontinued. GTSTs, I've seen tons of them on eBay, okay? There's tons of people breaking these cars apart all over Europe for some reason. You know, they're drift hoarders, or, you know, destroy their cars, or they rusted, rotten. Look at GTSTs or GTSs or other models, 4 doors, 2 doors. Doesn't matter. You don't have to look at a GTR for parts, for replacement parts for your car. I found this dashboard. I paid £40 for it, right? £40 for this. The only mark that was on it, let's see if this loads. The only mark that's on it is it had like a little breather hole or something right here. And when I got it in, it came in last week. I looked at it. I was like, this is great. This is a super sweet part for not a lot of money. Perfect. Clean it up, ready to go. Now I need to find the shifter surround, brand new, in the same texture, as the Series 3 dashboard, and I want to get the switch cover for the door as well. So things like this are a way that you could save some money rebuilding or restoring a GTR without paying GTR tax. Okay, because all these eBay sellers, I've dealt with a ton of them here in the UK. They're all fucking bums. And they say, oh, it came out of a GTR, so I'm going to leave it up there at 200 pounds for a part that's maybe worth 50 or 60, and it'll sit on eBay for 3 months. And you try to haggle with them, they don't want to hear it. So you can steer away from all these hobos trying to get a king's ransom, right, for GTR parts that really at the moment don't have a huge market in the UK. The GTR is a car that's been here for 15, 20 years as imports, and they even had native UK cars as well, so limited runs. They're not like into it how they are in the States. Like, it's not that big a thing to them. Also, there's not a lot of money rolling around in the UK. The economy's tanking, so there's not a lot of people building cars. So you're going to see people breaking these cars up over here, trying to get big money for these parts, but there's no real market. So they're sitting on a lot of parts. So then you have to be kind of clever and look around for deals like I did on this one. So that's a cool resource. eBay UK, for any of you Americans, and you see something there, you'll probably be able to get someone to ship it out. So final resource. So we did talk about the NISMO thing. This is expanding every day. It seems like every month they add more and more parts. These are all new parts that NISMO's added to its heritage line in just the past couple months. Quarter panels. This is all important stuff. Roof panels. These are the kinds of things you're going to want to get for your GTR if you need it. So look there. How do you get these from Nissan? There could be multiple ways. A couple websites. Anyone that probably gets NISMO parts can get you these. Maybe Nissan dealers. Try nissanparts.cc or Terra Firma. They might be able to get access to this kind of stuff. Final resource I was going to talk about is this Trust Kikaku. I've seen a couple videos on them from Samit, who went to their shop, and I was quite impressed at not only, because like you never know, as a Westerner, you're trying to buy parts from a semi-English website in Japan. You don't know if they got the parts there. You could be getting hosed. You don't know, right? But Samit went to the shop, and he went through their warehouse, and these guys are the hoarders of Japan, of OEM Nissan parts. They have everything discontinued. They're sitting on gold mines, okay? Literal GTR gold mines. Really cool shop. I want to go when I go to Japan this year. I'm going to Japan. Just because I want to see what they got, cool shit. A lot of NISMO stuff, a lot of cool parts, interior parts, things like the windscreen washer bottles, pedals. I mean, they just got everything. So I could go through this website for days. They have fair prices, which is a good thing, and it's something that you should be looking for. This is exactly what I need right here. See if they have the late model version for this. Let's see what we got. What year is this one? This 96 up. So this looks to me like the one I need, which is like the Series 2. It's the textured part that won't scrape up as much as the Series 1. So I'll probably call them and just confirm that this is correct, and I might snatch this up next couple days because it'll go perfect with that new dash surround that I got. Once I clean everything up, it'll be great. So yeah, in summary, searching for GTR parts is almost as fun as working on your GTR. There's a lot of resources out there to get stuff. These parts are not, right now because I'm in the UK, these parts are down the street for me. There's tons of people breaking the cars up. There's tons of GTR owners. It's really easy to source here. In the States, it's not. So you're going to have to be clever. You're going to have to know where to look and how to get the best deal. So these are a couple ways that you could do that. If you like this video, share it with your friends. I know there's going to be a ton of people with GTRs in the States, or even the GTR community in Japan. We're all kind of like in the same boat. We got cool cars, and we want to kind of restore them and make them as cool as possible. So I'm sure everyone could benefit from knowing these kinds of resources. Let me know if you liked it. Toss me a comment, share it, and you can follow me at like all social medias at Gaped and Confused. And I post pics of my GTR during the build. And stay tuned next month in Feb. I'm going to start really documenting the underbody restoration of the GTR. So I want to bring you guys along with that. I'm going to try to get some new camera equipment, something that we could take good videos, and then hopefully I can sneak down there on Saturdays or various days, maybe a once a week thing, and just update everyone on the progress. It should be a really cool build. So until next time, thanks for watching.
The truth.